Hello and welcome to another episode of Cheer New York, My Black Experience. My name is Matthew Brown and this is
Abby Jones-Corbin.
And we are both a part of the athletics department of Cheer New York. Woo-hoo. And with us today, we have the beautiful, the lovely Mai-Lanni Bunkley. Hi, May. So introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Mai-Lanni Bunkley. I've been on Cheer New York for 2 years now, and I just became the finance deputy director. So I'm a new member. Hey.
Welcome to the leadership team.
Yes.
It's been such a pleasure to be on so far.
So how did you get started in cheerleading?
Actually, when I moved a lot when I was little, and I ended up moving to we'll call it a predominantly white town. Even though it's just all white. and I actually didn't know what to do there. It was just so different from what I was used to because I went to a Catholic school in the Bronx and everyone was so different and diverse and you actually had to pay to go there. So then to go to public school was with a lot of white people. It was very different for me. And I actually met one of the members that's on your team right now, Elena. Elena again.
Okay.
And she we hit it off perfectly and we wanted to make sure that we spent time together. Mm-hmm. So she told me to try it for cheerleading and everyone wants to be a cheerleader no matter what you say. I don't care.
Agreed. I agreed.
I concur.
Everyone wants to be a cheerleader. So I was like, fine. And I did it. And since then I did it all throughout middle school, all throughout high school, college, and I ended up getting a job in New York and Elena called me up again and was like, let's cheer. And I was like, are you serious? And now I'm
serious. And here you are.
Only Elena could get me.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. So you pretty much been doing it your whole life.
Yes, I love it. It's like second home. I love it. I don't even know how I would have found it without Elena. So I always thank her. It's my whole heart. So.
Correct. So how has your experience in the cheerleading world industry been? How has it been? What would you sum it up and say what things have happened? High school, college, now?
Definitely for me, cheerleading's been an outlet because I love to dance. And so it's a sharper kind of dance routine type of thing. Mm-hmm. And what I loved is that everyone works super hard for these competitions where we just put every single thing you have, every little piece of you on the mat. And it's it just shows all your work for everything you've been doing. And I just love that adrenaline and run of just showing people really hard things in a cute way and making it look I love that. I love when people are just that was so easy. And I'm I'm glad you think so, but we made it easy.
Right, exactly.
So that's what I love about cheerleading. And I love that every year more and more people are considering a sport and are taking it more seriously. And you're seeing it more on ESPN and such. So it started off small to me where I was oh, no one really cares about cheerleading and it's only movies, bring it on. And now I'm just this is serious sport. Everyone does it. The competitions, all this stuff. So I just love that I could be a part of it in the mix.
Love that, love that, love that.
Being a part of it, being a Black woman in a part of it, and you mentioned that you went from one community and then you moved to a predominantly white, basically white community, and still, in cheerleading, was there any moments, was there anything different? Have you had any experiences that you would like to share that might have been different? It might not have. You might not have had any, issues in that, but can you share, your experience being a Black woman in cheerleading?
So there's definitely, I'll say different aspects. So in middle school, I think I developed a little bit faster. Mm-hmm. And so when it came to the uniforms, it would be oh, you're this height and you're this weight, so you could be with like Sarah. You guys are both mediums, and it would like cut right off my butt, and then it was just like, actually, we think that's inappropriate, and I didn't do anything. Like, we're Sarah wearing the same outfit, like, and then the other aspect, I'll say, is like hair. That's a big thing. And I felt like that like followed me all throughout, and it's still following me. Like the hair situation, such a big thing. Like in middle school, it was no big deal, and like I said, I wasn't used to it. So my hair used to be in like the big twist with the bobos, like super cute.
Oh yeah, I remember those. We matched.
Right?
Bobos had to match our outfits. I'm sorry, yeah, okay.
But the bobos weren't working for cheer.
No.
You'd hurt somebody. It's not yourself.
You already know. And so then my dad is super strict. So we had to convince him to let me wear like long box braids so I could like put my hair up in a ponytail and match and blah, 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 and stuff like that. And then when I got to high school, then it became like, oh, to be on varsity, your hair has to be half up, half down. And braids weren't cutting it anymore for them. So I was doing weaves. And when it came to like the half up, half down, I had to have like leave out, like in certain areas to make it
swoop up like you did.
And I'm like,
you were making magic happen, baby. And my hair broke off terribly. Like every Friday nights, games all the time, straightening to try to match.
Yeah.
Horrible. And that was like the worst it ever broke off. And then in college, same thing. They wanted half up, half down. And I remember around then I tried to do like natural hair. So half up, half down on like natural curly hair doesn't really go sometimes.
It wasn't working.
You had like a fro, and then you put like a bow on top, and you're like, yeah, like
it just would not obey. It just wouldn't. Gotcha.
No. And then honestly, even a little bit of Cheer New York, where your hair is up and they don't want it fully up, but they want it kind of down. So I remember a girl had her hair up in a bun, a really nice curly bun. I think she was Spanish. And they were just like, no, like, take that down. I remember thinking, I was like, no matter what, like, you're criticized on your hair. And that's what I don't like about cheerleading, because I understand it should be collegiate and in line and together. But I don't think anyone should be criticized on their hair that much. Like, I've had such a big hair journey because of cheerleading, like at middle school, high school, college, like every journey. And it's so hard.
I think hair journey is not just, it's not just cheerleading.
Correct.
With the issue. Because if we all think back, I'm not sure if it's Gabby Douglas or Simone Biles, but one of them, or even both of them, were having issues from social media and peers and people talking about their hair during the Olympics and then even after, even when they would go to different events and maybe her hair should be better or the edges, and so it's something when it comes to us, natural hair, trying to be more accepted in social media and other places where we find that out. So I think that's interesting that you say that.
Because connecting the two, a past episode with Brianna, she spoke about the issue with hair and in the middle school, high school, and even in the professional industry with NFL, NBA cheerleaders, and how your hair has to be a specific way or a certain look and how it can become an issue.
Yeah. Is it because there's now out here they have is it the crown? I don't know if it's a law, but it's they call it the crown. It's about the crown, meaning
that you can't discriminate.
You can't discriminate because of someone's hair. But of course, as things change, other things have to change. So we have to become more open to that. So that's another interesting thought process, since you've done it since middle school, and most women go through a hair change anyway, but you had it even worse.
So being that you moved, so you said you moved from a very diverse area to being around in a predominantly white area, so I guess that was middle school and high school, college, from what I've seen, like your pictures on social media, that looked to be a predominantly white team as well. Mm-hmm. Have you ever had moments where you felt like you had to put your Blackness on hold?
I think I thought I didn't, and then I realized I did when I went to college and I met other Black girls like me, and we would all talk, and I could just be myself and like just talk and and I was like, dang, like I was like, like, was I acting like something else to be something else? But I think it was more like adapting around my surroundings type thing. Mm-hmm. I watch like my mom, I feel like that's a really good example of my mom, and she'll go with her cousins and she's in the Bronx and she's like Key King and and then she turns on the phone, she's like, hello? How can I help you? And she's like some different person. So I feel like I've watched my sister do that at work. So I'm like, I feel like we all have that. Like, we learned that from my mom. Like, there's just the adaptability to be like, oh, yeah, girlfriend, that's what I'm talking about. And then just leave and be like, oh, hi, how are you? And just like keep it real simple. Like, and I feel like it's just like playing the game. Like,
and that, okay, and being that you say it's like playing a game, I think it's become so normal for us that that's what we have to do. That's what we're taught. That's what obviously has been passed down through generations of this is what you have to do, but kind of not realizing that we shouldn't have to.
Yes. Yes.
We should be able to be our true 100% selves, no matter where we are.
I realized that when other people weren't doing, like, they weren't adapting or doing what I was doing. And I was like, am I the only one that's doing this?
Yeah.
Doing that too? Like,
so when you saw that, was it because it was accepted when they didn't do it and they were their true self, no matter where they are, everyone just basically adapted to them instead of you switching and adapting the other way?
Yeah.
I think that's what, and that caught your attention.
Yes. And I was like, I had a boss once tell me like another coworker, well, sometimes I feel bad she can't feel like herself. And it was another white lady, and I was like, I don't think you should be telling me this. Herself, like,
yeah, right,
yeah.
So, and I was like, oh, people just, they don't know how to, and that's why I can't play the game that, I don't know, like, go in and out and be diverse. But I guess it is type of like just trying to hide myself or try to be different. And it's weird to look at if you want to.
Do you think, when you say that, do you think that you or we are trying to hide ourselves, or do you think that we're trying to survive or make it or just, be accepted, because a lot of times we look at it as, like we're not really trying to hide, but trying to not be, we don't want it to be a bad thing. Like we want to survive that day. I want to make it through the day and not have an issue, I guess.
Or just not for it to be a battle with me being.
It depends on the scenario, because obviously at work, then you're just like, yeah, like, and you're just like playing it cool, and I'm not gonna rustle any feathers because everyone has to be cordial at work type thing.
And you are an accountant.
I am.
Oh, let me see it. Wait, sorry. Love it.
I have my master's, and I'm an accountant at a big industry television company. So
yeah.
But to be there, like, you obviously have to talk the talk, like,
right.
And so you could rise up and be great and la da da da. So, and even me acting all that, I feel like she can't be herself. And I'm like, do you think this is me not being myself? Like this when I get home.
So do you ever feel as if by you, even in cheerleading, and because you are, that's corporate America and a professional, do you ever feel bad about having to, or maybe not bad, but maybe bad is the right term. Do you ever feel off-put or odd about having to bounce back and forth between
code switch?
Yes.
I don't feel awkward when I'm with different types of friends, because I feel like I'm able to have different types of friends because I have so many different interests and lanes, and I'm not just one dimension person. I'm so many, so I could talk about different things and still be myself. Right. But definitely I feel like at work and at certain professional settings that I have to like really like
it was.
I don't want to tell too much. My mom is so good at that. So that's why I know I'm really good at just like, oh, really? I'm like, oh, no way. You shouldn't have told me that. That's the best.
Can you remember back, or do you think you can remember the first time you acknowledged your race? That, you know, I'm black and I'm proud, or I'm just black, you know, however you acknowledged it at the time.
When I went to the middle school and I became friends with people in my predominantly white middle school, and something happened and a girl just like blew me off, and that was just it. And I remember talking to my mom. I was like, I don't get what happened. Like, we were all cool and da-da-da. And my mom was just like, you are not a little white girl. You're a little black girl. And she was like, you cannot think you could just play the game and be a part, because it's always going to be different for you. And I remember she was just like, she and my mom was more like not dividing it or anything, but she was like, I would be careful who I trust when it comes to that. And she was like, no matter what, you're going to get hurt by it, but you should be careful who you trust, because all these people aren't the people you're with in the Bronx and hanging out with. It's different. And I remember thinking, I was like, this isn't different. They're people. Like, what do you mean?
Right.
And life was just so different for me. And I got called out for things that I, like, even at school, I'd wear the same dress some other girl was wearing, and I'd get called out because I'm a little bit more voluptuous. Not by much, and so I'm just like, I don't get it, but get called out for that. If there was a situation, if people were in trouble in a group, it would be pointed to me, and I'd be like, why me? And they'd be like, well, we have to talk to you and like get the info. And if another kid said that I wasn't part of it, then they would believe me, but it wasn't believable to just get it from me that I didn't do it. Wow. So I could just tell there was different rules I had to play by, and I thought that was weird. Yeah, and even I'll say, like, there was a little group of Black people at my school as well, and because I tried to do so many different things and outlets, and I really wanted to get into college and high school and they were just like, well, you don't want to be a part of us either, and you're an Oreo and and I was just like, oh, I can't fit in anywhere.
Oh wow!
Can't win.
No one wants to. Like,
and it's amazing though, even in our own community, how when you're trying to get ahead, intellectually in your education, you want to, post-secondary education, a lot of times they look at us as if, oh, you're trying to be better. You're trying to be better than. You're trying to be white. No, I'm trying to be educated,
right? Get
my master's, get my good job,
right?
And not live in my mother's house. Like, that's basically where I'm at. Right. Like, what is this?
Exactly.
Like, don't be mad at me because I want to do that. But that's our own personal community.
Yeah.
So I think it's almost like, shouldn't we be tired? Like,
but I think that sometimes that is also because we do it, but then we have to look at the reason why we do it. Mm-hmm. And I think that a lot of times that comes from the past, and white people made it seem as if Black people weren't supposed to achieve these things and do great and be smart. And
they almost said we
couldn't be great. We couldn't be smart. We couldn't be intellectual. We couldn't go to college. We couldn't do these things. So that's something that the Black community then assimilated to and then started passing down. But then you had the other Black people who were like, no, we can do these things. We are going to be intellectual. We are going to be smart. We are going to go to college. So then that divided our own community.
Correct.
Which sucks.
Which sucks, and I think it makes us tired. Like the more I keep hearing the different stories that we're sharing, May's stories, our own stories, like we are tired. Like you couldn't even get out of middle school without every day something else. So
it's crazy. So let's ask this. So how does your race tie into other parts of your identity?
Okay, I love, hate. When people talk to me, they could hear either how articulate I am, or then they realize how educated I am, or something like that. And then they're just like, oh, you're mixed. And I'm like, no, why do I have to be mixed to be great? Why do I have to be great to be mixed, huh? So I love when people meet my parents and I'm like, no, my dad's black, my mom's black, my sister's black, our dog is black. So black. I love just assume they're just like, oh,
did she say mixed?
They really?
Every time it's skin, and I'm just like, just because I'm a little lighter doesn't mean I'm mixed. Like, I'm me because my black parents. Like, there's no secret. We're the secret. Like, that's
your mama. I met your mama. Your mama is a black woman. I met your mama.
No BS.
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
Something about them black mamas.
Yeah. And your grandma too with that good tater salad.
Okay. You know what?
Shout out to
Sorry, viewers. The Carolinas.
The
Carolinas like me.
Cooking show is like a little further down the line. We'll come back and get the recipe in season like 45. But
okay.
You know, okay.
So you would say that it's a direct correlation between the two. And have you ever had that conversation? Have you ever had that conversation with your parents, and what was their response about that?
Conversation about what?
What you just stated, like someone thinks that because your parents,
because you're articulate and you sound the way you do, they assume that you're mixed. Did you talk to your parents about that?
Yes, and we love that people quote unquote underestimate us. I feel like my family particularly, like, we love when people do that because we eat it and we're just like, we're gonna eat everything. We're gonna, like, my dad has 3 million jobs because he thinks he could do everything. And as soon as he hears, oh, you can't do that, he's going to do it. You should have
just to prove someone wrong.
You should have never said that because he's going to do it. And that's exactly how my mom is. This summer, she's doing beekeeping and she has a chicken coop and she gardens and she's a personal trainer. And my dad owns a whole bunch of restaurants now. He just built a gym, and they do not like to be still or quiet or anything. And so I think that's such a good model of showing me and my sister that, like, no, you can do whatever you want. And like, if anyone says anything, you eat that and you do it anyway. Like,
love it.
Eat it.
Love it. Love it.
I know you've made mention that that young lady, like, back in middle school, because you were black, was just like, put you to the side. Was there any other time where you felt the prejudice? Especially now that you're in the corporate world, you've been, in, college and in these other outside in the world on your own things. Have you ever?
When I meet people sometimes, and I used to get this a lot when I was younger, and I don't know if it's because of resting bee face, but like I'd get the, oh my gosh, you're so much nicer than I thought, or oh, I thought you were gonna beat me up. And I would just be like,
what?
Why would I come up to you
and just beat you up?
Seriously? I just can't seem to understand that. Like, why would I just come up to you and I thought you were going to beat me up. And I'm like, what is this, love and hip hop? Like,
right.
We're just going to walk into the room, don't know you from Adam or Eve, and just beat you up.
Or, oh, you're so nice. Like, was I supposed to be mean? I get a lot of interviews, like phone interviews are funny because when they do finally meet me, I always get the,
May, let me let you in on a secret.
If you read my resume, because my name is Mai-Lanni, and the bottom are superlatives, I'm a black belt. Sometimes they'll think I'm Asian. So
because of the name and the black belt, yeah.
So many different weird stuff.
With you with that one, I've been at a job where I guess I can articulate and code switch. Hello, how are you? I'm actually the auto attendant voice at a well-known national social work organization.
That's my mom's
Me.
I'm telling you right now, she's gonna love that. That's my mom's dream.
And I remember sitting in the room with the script, and the guy came in and he looked at me. You're doing it? Absolutely.
I sure am.
If you would like to speak to the chief operating officer, please press 1. I'm serious. I did the whole thing.
I'm sounding like it just said.
I did
sounded like it just said.
She did.
And Mai-Lanni, my first name is Abby. So get it. See? Gotcha. So I fully understand that. And it's crazy. But yeah. I use it to my advantage. See, I got a little something aside for that.
People think that, and they'll do it to your face too, and they're just like, oh, I wasn't.
But why is it that, because I'm one of those too. Everybody knows that about me. I'm a smiler and I'm a laughing person, but 9 times out of 10, when you see Matthew, my face is serious, always. Everybody knows that. But why is it that when a lot of, not even sometimes, and I can honestly say not even black people, why is it that when white people see that we aren't necessarily smiling, they automatically equivalent that with we're mad or we're angry or we're upset or we're this, just because I'm not.
Most of the time I'm concentrating and thinking of something else and not paying attention to you per se, or like I'm just in my thoughts.
Someone tried to tell me that I wasn't, or through a review, that I wasn't approachable at work. And I was like, why? Because I'm sitting at my computer.
Doing my right.
Another email. Like, and you're just like, oh, she's not approachable. I bet
I had one. Everyone at my job knows that if you ask me something, I would gladly help you, give you an answer. Now, gets to the point where if they do too much, I'm gonna cut you off. But it came to a point where one person actually went to my boss and was like, everybody's saying she's hard to work with. No, everybody's not. Like, no, it's not. Because of how you view me, you can't put that on everybody else. And I'm not going to allow you to, and I think we start to get our voice back. And as you said, your family's like, oh, we're going to eat that.
Yes.
And I'm going to show you how that's not how we are. I get it.
Because it's the direct, this is just my personal thought, within, from other people onto the Black community, that we are just so angry. We are so angry. And yes, we are angry about things, but all of us are not angry people. No. Between the 3 of us, we are very happy people.
Yes.
A little too much. No, I'm kidding. Except when it comes to cheerleading, you don't get it right.
When you say we're not a sport,
we get downright. Yeah.
Don't get that angry.
So who would you say inspired you to be proud of who you are in your racial identity?
Definitely, I'll say my mom. My mom does whatever, whenever she wants. And she'll just be like, I'm a highly blessed child of God. I could do that. Like, and she's such a strong, independent woman, like the strongest. She shouldn't even need my dad. Like, she's the strongest.
Wait. So can you tell our viewers the coolest thing? Okay, so when I met her mom, this was the most amazing thing that she said to me. She told me what she used to, what one of her previous jobs was. Please tell our viewers.
So my mom was on the show American Gladiators in the 90s. And
Yo, I grew up with that. Word?
Yeah.
she was not a gladiator. She was a contestant on the show. And actually, this all plays in because on the show that she's on, she's not in the league or she's not even winning. And people are like talking about her, like the people, and they're like, are you gonna be able to do it, Kim? And she was like, it ain't over till it's over. And at the end, she won. And she was like, I told you it ain't over. And like, it's a crazy moment. So like,
I remember American Gladiators.
That's why, and I did too, which is why it was so amazing when she said it to me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you are, because I wanted to be on American Gladiators so bad because it looked like so much fun.
And like, it was such a big deal for her because she was from North Carolina. Mm-hmm. So they were coming through town and she wasn't sure if she was going to compete. And she ended up competing and winning. And she was like one of the only Black people too.
And that's the other reason why, because I remember there weren't a lot of Black people on American Gladiators, not at all. And especially not a Black female.
Right, not a Black female.
They remember her. Like, I don't know how they do. My mom looks amazing. She looks just like the video. If you look at it, she really does. But people remember her, like, from that show. People I don't even tell. They'll be like, oh, I know your mom. I'm like, how?
So I know that brings you joy, but is there anything else that any other time you've experienced joy because you were a Black woman?
Me, like, personally?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'll say definitely when I got my master's. I knew it was a big deal, but then when I did it, it felt crazy because not a lot of people get to do it.
Yeah.
Opportunity, or even walking across the stage, there wasn't a lot of us. Like me and one of my best friends got to graduate. It's her birthday today too. Happy birthday, Sade.
Happy birthday.
And she, like, it was such a big deal. And I remember, like, such an out-of-body experience thinking, like, whoa. And when we came out and were celebrating, it's in front of Madison Square Garden where I graduated. Mm-hmm. So when we were celebrating, we were in front of, like, a UPS building or something like that. And my dad was like, it's so crazy to be here because your Nana, which is my dad's grandma, mm-hmm. She used to work here, and she used to take the bus all the time, and and this and that. And
wow.
Of course, bless her soul. And my dad was like, and I feel like she's here, like, watching you, like, and she worked so hard for you to be here, and she wasn't able to be as educated as you, and now you like do this for her. And I was just like, oh my God.
Did you cry? Did you cry?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
So I started thinking, like, wow, like
so yes, of course they
were fighting for me to do this and like rooting for me and like and even when I tell people that I have my master's, they're like, oh my God. And I'm like, yeah.
It was easy.
Mm-hmm.
Certificates, but no one's counting. We're just
right. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with counting because especially as a Black woman or a Black man, we should definitely be proud and shout it from the mountaintops. All of our accomplishments and everything that
Let
we
me
do.
tell you something. You could put that in a frame, and every time somebody called, like on a FaceTime, you put that right. Oh, you looking for me? You know, kindly turn the camera.
I have everything in the background.
Right there.
this whole thing.
This whole thing. Oh, let me just dust it off real quick. You know, that's what you do. Do that. Be proud of that. Correct. That is an accomplishment, and no one can take it from you, and no one should diminish it.
And that is the one thing that we always that no one can ever take away from you. What's up here?
What's up there?
That and being a Black belt, I had that one too.
Oh well, there you go. You kick somebody's ass.
You just might kick somebody's ass. Yo, I'm gonna need you to hang out with me.
Look, okay. I know who to call when I got a problem.
But I'm not just walking up fighting people.
Right.
Exactly. So, how do you showcase your pride within, I would say, being a Black woman, being Mai-Lanni Bunkley, a daughter of someone who won American Gladiators, a father who is everything. How do you showcase your pride in all of those things?
And it has to do with the masters too. I think I really like to keep going with the momentum of all this energy. So my family's opening businesses, and now I want to help open a business and start running their accounting and doing stuff like that, because it's really great that I'm educated and I brought all this stuff, but I feel like it's not fun unless you could bring everyone else up with you.
All right, reach back,
So,
grab another.
Yep.
now I definitely want to give back, and I love, like, I love showing people that you can be a Black cheerleader, and it's definitely more known now, but like something so small, cheering with Cheer New York and doing like the walks for the AIDS walk and seeing like little Black girls walk by me, and I just love to just go towards them and let them know that you could do this, and like I'm not only a cheerleader, like, and I'm probably harassing them, I'm not only a cheerleader, I'm this, I'm that, you can do that too. And I just love doing that for people, and I've been talking about trying to do a program for little girls, like to push them, letting them know that like this isn't it, like keep going and to eat everything and just keep moving forward. So I definitely
with the motto of what's next.
Yes, like I want to keep going, and I want to be in your face, like your idea of a Black woman is just a stereotype, and there's different forms of Black people and Black women, strong independent women, and I want you to see that, not just have a one-dimensional view. I want you to know we look all different types, and we're bringing all different things to the table, and I need just everyone to open their mind and to see like there's more to us.
So with all that we have in this plethora of things, give me one word, one to express your Black girl magic.
Exquisite.
Oh,
yes, it is. That's a good one. Exquisite.
Us as Black people, us as Black women, like super untouchable. It's just exquisite, and like it's easy to hate when you're jealous, but it's just what it is, exquisite. Like that's effortlessly exquisite.
Wow,
I
like that.
I love that.
I love it.
I love that. Love that.
Exquisite.
Exquisite.
I feel good.
Like, that just brightened my day. Look, made you sit up a little tall.
Yeah. Oh, I'm exquisite.
It's like, oh, thank you.
Yes. Well, Mai-Lanni, thank you so much for joining us. It was great speaking with you, hearing your experiences, everything about you, getting to know more about you.
Yes.
Even though we already know you, we just learned even more, and so did our viewers. We want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for continuing to watch all the episodes. If you see this one and you haven't seen any of the past episodes, go back and watch. Check out Cheer New York on Facebook, IG, YouTube, everything that's out there. And we will see you back here next time on our next episode of Cheer New York, My Black Experience. Love you guys.